Happy holidays, nerds. It is I, the OGGM, and his lame-ass computer. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. It's the 21st day of October 2021. It's about 70 degrees sunny and super windy here at Site B. It is the holidays, so run, do not walk to your nearest purveyor of food because turkeys, beef, pork, and chicken are all at a limited supply, which means not only is the price of your turkey going to be exceptionally higher than usual. I think it was $7 a pound when I went with my mom yesterday to get her turkey. That's pretty pricey, I believe. I don't know. Turkeys were in short supply, meat, ham, chicken, all short supply and very, very heavily priced. So warning, this might be a Domino's Thanksgiving, which, I'm personally fine with. Support me, soda. If you are going to be stag, solo, just sitting at home Thanksgiving evening, I will be leaving the camera on for the 24-hour Steve-a-thon. So from whenever I begin Thanksgiving festivities with my family, which I have a feeling is going to be a very low-key Thanksgiving this year, considering everything that's going on, I'm just going to leave the camera on and point it at Steve, and you can just watch him for wherever long until I get home, for as long as he's within range of the camera, if that's something people want. I mean, there's people who watch YouTube videos of fires for Christmas for 8 hours, so... Alright, enough blabbing. On to the tabletop role-playing game news. And tabletop role-playing game news adjacent. Two big stories, of course. Number one, the death of the Green Power Ranger, Jason David Frank. We found out yesterday, Saturday night, that Jason David Frank had passed away. He, of course, is most famous for playing the Green Ranger, Dr. Tommy Oliver, on the long-running Power Rangers TV show. He is one of the few Rangers who have reappeared in multiple seasons. He's considered, Dr. Tommy Oliver is, of course, probably considered by many Power Ranger fans as the greatest or most popular Ranger there is. Now, there are rumors swirling, of course, that because he was only 46 years old that he took his life. But that has not been confirmed, so please do not spread those rumors or say anything negative about him. Let's just remember him as the wonderful Green Power Ranger, White Power Ranger, Red Power Ranger, Black Power Ranger that he was, and of course Lord Darkon. So R.I.P. Tommy, we will miss you, especially with the 30th anniversary productions just happening and rumors that he was going to show up, because you can't have a 30th anniversary without the Green Ranger. But yeah, so sad news. Okay, moving on to the other big story, which surprisingly, Wizards of the Coast. The rumor that Wizards of the Coast is going to cancel the OGL. Let's address it again. No, they cannot cancel it. It's out there. And once it's out there, they cannot give it away. What they can do, what is most likely they're going to do, is they will not make an OGL for whatever it is they end up calling 1D&D, which, let's face it, we're all going to call it 6th edition. Whatever it is that comes out in 2024 in relation to Wizards of the Coast specific product, and what's going to be on DM's Guild, what's going to be on D&D Beyond, and what's going to be on the inevitable legendary virtual tabletop that they're supposedly making. Has anybody seen it since Comic-Con? Nope. Okay. Those will be exclusively 1D&D. So, third-party publishers like Goodman Games will not be able to make stuff for the DM's Guild going forward, will not be able to make stuff for D&D Beyond, and will not be able to make stuff for the VTT unless it follows the new SRD for 1D&D. You can still make a product that uses strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and armor class and that shit. That's fine. But you will not be able to use D&D specific things, probably, like Big B's Grasping Hand, unless you specifically follow the 1D&D SRD, which means homebrew content that you want to post upon D&D Beyond will be difficult, if not impossible, to do once they pass this. If they pass this, and Hindsight being 2020, you would think they wouldn't because, 4th edition Pazio Pathfinder. But we are talking about Wizards of the Coast, so they might do something this dumb. And speaking of Wizards of the Coast and dumb, Dragonlance is just around the corner, and of course it has been met with nothing but controversy already. One, because for reasons that defy other logic, Wizards of the Coast failed to approach Tracy Hickman and Margaret Weiss, consult them, or have them have anything to do with the upcoming Dragonlance product. Both of them have been very verbal about the fact that they were not consulted. They had nothing to do with it, and pretty much everything that Wizards of the Coast says about Dragonlance coming forward, Margaret has been very vocal about the fact that no, that is not right, including Takesha/Tiamat. Margaret has made it very, very clear that they are not the same, and we can argue left and forth that Takesha and Tiamat are the same, but if Margaret says they're not the same, they're not the same. Then there's the whole thing about the Kender. Margaret has been very clear about how Kender are supposed to be portrayed and how Wizards of the Coast are portraying them in the upcoming book. Then there was the thing with racist fish. But never deterred, Wizards of the Coast has posted up a whole bunch of stuff related to the upcoming Dragonlance thing. They've got a couple of videos up on thing. They've got a session 0 up for the adventure that they're playtesting. They've got a video called Who is the Dragon Queen? They've got new rules up on D&D Beyond for all sorts of things related to Dragonlance and Dragonlance-specific dice and Dragonlance-specific character sheets, all on D&D Beyond. We've already seen some of the products for the skirmish game. They look amazing. Lord Soth is at least getting a lot of love in this product. We should be expecting to see the first thing December 6th. Free League Publishing announced they're doing a Walking Dead universe role-playing game based upon the AMC television show, which ended last night. This will feature The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead type stuff. It'll use the Year Zero engine. And, of course, there will be a spring crowdfunding phase started in sometime after the new year. It says spring, so March-ish, I guess. I don't know about this one. First, there are already so many tabletop role-playing games that are, zombie related. And now, with the series just done, I mean, it's great if you have got the rights to it going forward, because we know there are 3 spin-offs plus Fear of the Walking Dead and Walking Dead The World After, which are also in production. So it could still be a chance to milk the Walking Dead love, but most people, I think, are like, Jesus, it's enough. 11 seasons of The Walking Dead, so we'll see what happens with that. Hey, remember that Dungeons & Dragons movie that has been pushed back to April 1st, which is a horrible day to have a release? We've got some figures, including amongst the figures, we have the gelatinous cube figure, which looks cool. We've got the controversial white owlbear. We've got a displacer beast figure, and we've got a mimic figure. WizKids also has some other stuff coming out for April, including devilish devices and hidden hazards, which are pre-painted traps and environmental hazards for your dungeons. So if you ever wanted to have a figure on the board that looked like a, pit trap, yeah, you could. Also, they're doing paint kits. So these are similar to the owlbear paint kit they did, was it 2 years ago? A year ago? It'll come with a figure, it'll come with paints, and it'll come with suggestions on how to paint the figure. They run about $20, which is really reasonable considering what you get. And it's a great way to get kids into figure painting, or you into figure painting. And some stores have done in-painting events when these things have been come out. Mephidius has a new developer blog up about the upcoming campaign book for Dune, Adventures in the Imperium, Masters of Dune. This will inevitably be a 166-page hardcover set to release before the end of the year, along with 2 decks of asset cards for the same game. running about $17 each. So if you wanted some more information on the Dune world, Dune role-playing game, Dune setting, here we go. Check it out. And of course, finally, we end where we began with news regarding Wizards of the Coast. In case you didn't know, we have the two other stories regarding Wizards of the Coast, which is the huge slip over the 3-day weekend of Hasbro stock, a 34% drop, and continuing to looking like it dropped around another 8%. So, and this is mostly due to the inappropriate and ridiculous stuff they've been doing with Magic, including the overpriced $1,000 30th anniversary set, in addition to overproducing and overcharging for cards. So Bank of America and several other Wall Street type stuffs are saying this is Hasbro is underperforming. And in response to that, Hasbro is looking to cut a lot of extra fat from its budget, starting with Entertainment One. Entertainment One is the entertainment division of Wizards of the Coast, responsible for all their movies and TV shows, which include, of course, Power Rangers, Transformers, My Little Pony, Peppa Pig, and I didn't know this, the Saw franchise. Apparently parts of the Saw franchise are somehow attached to Entertainment One, which is Hasbro's entertainment division. They are selling it off and putting everything that is currently being produced on hold, which amongst other things includes the upcoming D&D television show that they've been batting around since the 90s, and Peppa Pig and some other things. But don't worry, they've already got a new entertainment plan in place. They're calling it Blueprint 2.0, and it's going to focus on turning Hasbro, especially Dungeons & Dragons Hasbro, into a digital gaming giant. So if there's any hesitation on your part that Wizards of the Coast / Hasbro is going to continue to support physical print Dungeons & Dragons product going forward, despite the fact that they repeatedly said they're not going to, this should nail at least one nail in the coffin of the future of physical print product for Wizards of the Coast. Hasbro is taking D&D digital, not because they want to, because they have to. It is just becoming too expensive to print that shit out. Trees are an endangered species. It is just more cost effective to go digital. So yeah, you can say whatever you want, but it's happening. This is one of the many ways that they are looking to recuperate on their huge losses financially this year that can all mostly be blamed on Wizards of the Coast. Now, this should not come to any surprise as anybody. I know there were people out there who are going, well, I announced it first. I predict they're going to be, putting the game and the TV show and the movie on hold. And I predicted that, I was there for just like, yeah, except, of course. See, this is why I think, some people don't listen to me. I figure, when I'm talking about D&D, as long as I don't go too far, people listen to me. But when I start talking about Hasbro or the entertainment shit, I think people just sort of phase out and go, oh, there he goes, being hysteric again. Okay. Hasbro's CEO announced in 2020 that they were going to be selling this off, so they should not have come as a surprise. This happened during the restructure of the entertainment division, which looped both digital entertainment and Wizards of the Coast together under one branch of the three branches that make up Hasbro. During this, in 2020, they made it very clear that they are going to be taking Hasbro Productions into the digital world. They'll be selling off Entertainment One and creating a new entertainment division. They announced this again at Hasbro Pulse during the summer that they were selling it off. So anybody who's going, oh my God, they just announced this, is like, no. As regards to delaying, I already said they were going to delay the D&D movie. I mean, the second they announced that it was coming out in March, I was like, nope, they're going to delay it. And they did delay it to April 1st, which is a horrible day to delay it. And I'm going to tell you again, they're going to delay it again. As for the D&D television show, that is an idea that Hasbro's been knocking around since the 90s. There were rumors that it was going to go into production over at Netflix. And some of it's already apparently maybe even at least storyboarded, but now that has been delayed. But it is pretty much siphoned up to be gobbled up by Netflix. Why Netflix? Now, as I've already said, I'm calling 90% likely, I'm putting money on this, that if and when Honor of Thieves does reach production sometime next year or early in 2024, it is 90% likely going to go direct to Netflix, or Netflix and Paramount, or Netflix and Paramount and Disney+. It probably will never see the theaters. If it does see the theaters, limited run at best. More likely, it'll be theaters overseas. Here in America, Netflix. Why? Why Netflix? I don't know. Might have something to do with the $30 million deal that Hasbro and Netflix signed for Netflix to carry a bunch of their IPs. And Netflix already carries Peppa Pig. Netflix already carries Ponies. Netflix already carries Transformers. Netflix has been carrying Power Rangers and will continue to be the source for the Power Rangers entertainment stuff. Which brings us back to the beginning. R.I.P. Dr. Tommy Oliver, Jason David Frank. Please only say respectful things about him, and don't go off saying, "Oh, he took his own life," because we don't know if that's sure. There could have been anything could have been the reason of his death. Let's just honor the memory of the Green Ranger. Till next time, I'm the OGGM. That's everything that's going on in the world of tabletop rolling game. If you are worried that you're not going to be able to make product for D&D 0, D&D 1, D&D 2, D&D 3, D&D 4, or make OSR product, it's fine. The OGL is not going away. They cannot kill the OSR. Sorry. Sorry to those people who continue to badmouth the OSR. We're not going away. If anything, choices like this are just going to drive more people towards the OSL. Don't believe me? Just remember 4th edition and Pathfinder and every stupid thing Wizards of the Coast did with that came out. So if you're thinking of making some content for D20, you still can, okay? Armor class, hit points, all that stuff is still available. You can just follow the exact same model that Pathfinder did. All right, like, share, subscribe. With the holidays coming up, buy my merch. Remember, I got t-shirts, I got games, I got modules, I got information, I got all sorts of fun stuff that you can buy and add joy to the gamer in your life and add joy to me by supporting me. See ya. Happy holidays. Stay safe. Start cooking that turkey and get off my land.